This is TV2 News.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us this Thursday evening for the first live edition of TV2 News on Thursdays. I'm Troyano.
And I'm Elias, Shingleton.
And we begin tonight with the new details emerging from Kent State's vaccine mandate sent out by the university Thursday.
That's right, and Raygene English joins us now with what to know about the announcement. Raygene?
Thanks, guys. The new information comes after an August 27th announcement from the university mandating a COVID vaccine for all students and faculty and staff. To meet the compliance deadline, the first doses of COVID-19 vaccine would be received no later than November 8th for Moderna, November 15th for Pfizer, and December 6th for Johnson & Johnson. Those who submit proof of vaccination to MedPlus Proctor will not be selected for random weekly testing. Also, you will be automatically entered to win generous awards throughout the university's incentive program, which runs through October 31st. Exemptions from the COVID-19 vaccine has some requirements. Medical exemptions will require documentation from a licensed medical provider. Religious or personal conscience exemptions will require the submission of a personal statement explaining how the university's vaccine requirement would conflict with that belief. Reporting in Franklin Hall studio, I'm Raygene English, TV2 News.
Thank you so much, Raygene. Now, after numerous photos of raw chicken went viral over Kent campus last week, more images are emerging. On your screen, you see a post that hit students' timeline early this morning, and more images of undercooked chicken. Now, this comes after Kent State sent an email out to students acknowledging the incidents. Now, today, TV2 reached out to Kent State and received the following statement saying, quote, "We have conducted a thorough inspection of equipment where chicken is cooked to ensure proper calibration, and we have begun retraining our associates where appropriate for specific food safety processes for chicken. Our health and safety are always our utmost priority," University spokesman Emily Vincent added. Any concerns over dining services can be addressed at dining@kent.edu.
And as midterms quickly approach, students are still working to get adjusted to the changes of the fall 2021 semester.
Students are excited to be back on campus for the fall 2021 semester. Some students are returning to Kent State after time away during the pandemic, while others are attending in-person classes for the very first time. Despite being back on campus, some classes are still online, which causes difficulty for some students.
I feel like there's more stuff open and there's more in-person classes, which is nice than last year. It's nice to see more people on campus.
Students are glad to have the opportunity to take in-person courses. Although some were offered over the course of last school year, many more courses are now back to in-person instruction.
Half of my classes are like virtual, and it's like a struggle trying to find a balance between like my online classes and normal classes.
I could not focus at home, so I figured if I'm in person, I'll be focused, and I'm really sick of staring at the screen all the time.
Throughout the course of the pandemic, Kent State used the online learning platform Blackboard to host courses and virtual classes. The university is now transitioning to a different platform, Canvas, which has some students frustrated.
Over the course of the pandemic, we got so used to Blackboard that I just prefer it more than Canvas. It's also one of those things that I know that if we use it for a year or two, then it'll be fine.
For TV2 News, I'm Baylee Sweitzer.
Our own Baylee Sweitzer with that report. Now, Kent State released its fall 2021 admission numbers today, and these years, freshmen are breaking records. That's right, with almost 4,000 incoming students in all 8 campuses. Over 32% of these students are also first generational. Now, this year's freshman class has an all-time GPA high of 3.5. Despite these high numbers and accomplishments, the total amount of students did decrease by 4.1%.
And the Kent State Board of Trustees also voted in their meeting yesterday to approve a new university budget for the 2022 fiscal year. The new balanced budget was approved for $646.9 million and is based on the assumption that many normal university operations will resume following the reopening of campus. State share of instruction is projected at $160.1 million, which is an increase of $1.5 billion from last year's budget. Tuition revenue is estimated estimated to be $2.4 million less than 2021's budget due to the decrease in overall enrollment. The university budget will also provide funds for financial aid, employee raises in accordance with union bargaining, and consistent health care benefits.
President Todd Dyken was reviewed by Kent State board members for his performance in his second term. Now, the board praised Dyken for his continuous leadership and all of his accomplishments while also amending details in his contract. The board gave Dyken a 2% raise in his contract while also appointing him to a third term. Now, this would make his contract go through until June 30th, 2025 with an optional 2-year renewal.
And the LGBTQ plus living learning community in Korb Hall reopened this semester after its sudden closure last year. The community is located on 2 of Korb Hall's 5 floors. Students who choose to live in the community have the opportunity to interact with other students who share similar experiences. Residents can also experience monthly programming through a partnership with the LGBTQ plus Student Center. And access to hot water will be cut off on campus beginning tonight. University Facilities Management will be performing emergency maintenance on the steam system that heats the water on campus. The maintenance is scheduled to begin at midnight tonight and may last until 7 p.m. tomorrow. Campus residents are encouraged to plan accordingly.
Kent State is celebrating Constitution Day 2021 with events on all 8 campuses. So on the Kent campus specifically, KSU alumnus and attorney Bart Bixenstein will give a keynote presentation to discuss the First Amendment along with student leaders on campus. The presentation will be held virtually at 11:30 a.m.
Welcome back. I'm Rachel Gross with your Thursday evening weather report. So currently in Kent, we're seeing temperatures hanging around 77, still pretty warm outside. It's sunny, nice and calm, not really too much going on. Winds coming in from the east at 6 miles per hour. Humidity's up there a little bit at 58%, but other than that, it's a beautiful evening all across northeast Ohio. And tonight it's going to be 64 degrees, mostly clear, but there's going to be some patchy fog a little bit after 1 a.m., either late or early, depending on if you're still awake or not. Wind 6 miles per hour up there a little bit, and that sunset is going to be at 7:33 p.m. A little bit sad seeing that sunset earlier and earlier each day. And then going into tomorrow, that fog is going to last until a little bit before 10 a.m. So if you're hitting the road before then, you might want to watch out. Maybe leave a little bit early to avoid any traffic around there. 20% chance of showers after 2 p.m. Other than that, it's going to be partly cloudy for tomorrow. Temperatures around 84 degrees. Winds coming in southeast of 5 to 7 miles per hour. Now you want to stick around because I'll be giving you your full weather forecast after the break.
Thank you, Rachel. Now, the city of Kent is planning a $20 million redesign to improve the stretch of East Main Street along Kent State's campus.
That's right, and our reporter Baylee Sweitzer joins us live with the plans to remake one of the worst crash corridors in Ohio. Hi, Baylee.
Hi guys, I'm at the meeting right now about new construction in Kent where they're planning to redesign East Main Street. Currently there's about 30 people inside the meeting right now and more people are still filing in. Tonight they will be discussing what the final product of this construction looks like. And right now they are discussing about 4 through lanes of traffic and upgrade the sidewalks to be wide enough to be a hike and bike trail. They will also add U-turns. It was just announced that they will have 4 through lanes of traffic and upgrade the sidewalks to be hike and bike trails. Stop. Okay.
Thanks, Baylee. Now up next, protests around Kent are arguing to continue the eviction moratorium. What protesters are saying.
And the Ohio Redistricting Committee finally approved the controversial new state, House, and Senate maps, but the battle is just beginning. Governor DeWine's response and where the maps are heading next, coming up.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Welcome back. A group of students gathered on the K today to protest the ending of the pandemic eviction moratorium. Our reporter Kennedy Gotham has the latest on their demands for fair housing. Hi, Kennedy.
Hi, Eli. That's right. The Students for Democracy Society are known for voicing their opinions on campus, and today was no exception. Take a look. Society took to Risman Plaza to protest the Biden administration's decision not to extend the eviction moratorium. The moratorium was first instated on March 27, 2020, as millions of Americans found themselves without work due to the COVID pandemic.
Jobless people couldn't pay rent, so we put a moratorium up that said, well, okay, you guys don't have to pay rent.
It initially was set to expire on December 31st of that year, but was extended all the way through July 31st of 2021. The Supreme Court blocked the Biden administration's attempt to extend the moratorium, and with it gone, many Americans could risk losing their homes. The Student Democratic Society voiced their support for the moratorium through an on-campus protest today. They believe that students should be knowledgeable about these issues.
It's going to have to come from a mass movement, and the first step in that is educating students.
Housing should be a human right, and I'm going to support that because it's going to affect me and it affects everyone.
There is no word from the Biden administration on whether another moratorium will be proposed, but that isn't stopping the Student Democratic Society from making their voices be heard.
The pandemic is still happening, there's still an issue, and people still can't afford their rent, so just, reinstate that stuff.
For more information about the Student Democratic Society, follow them on Instagram at KentState_SDS. From the Franklin Hall, I'm Kennedy Gotham.
Thank you, Kennedy. Now, Ohio's medical marijuana cultivators can now request permission to expand their grow space. Ohio Department of Commerce announced Wednesday that expansion requests will be granted to businesses, but under a few rules. Businesses must have complied with rules and regulations, are already using the maximum amount of space allowed by the state, and even demonstrate a need to expand to keep up with demand. The expansion process comes as the state plans to more than double the number of dispensaries. Now, the Ohio Redistricting Committee approved new State House and Senate districts Wednesday night. Due to the panel voting 5-2 without the Democratic vote, though, the map can currently only be in place for 4 years instead of the 10 original years. Now, Senate President Matt Huffman said the map would likely give Republicans a 60-37 advantage in the House and a 23-10 advantage in the Ohio Senate. Now, Governor Mike DeWine voted against the bill, and he says he expects this matter will be in the courts.
Science was on the ballot. The pandemic was on the ballot. Our approach to this pandemic, vaccinations, were on the ballot last night. And again, you no longer can assert a different point of view.
California lawmakers are already looking towards reforming the recall process following a failed attempt to remove Governor Gavin Newsom from office Tuesday night. Democrats in the state want to strengthen the requirements needed to recall a governor from office, with one proposal even requiring proof that the governor committed illegal conduct or corruption. This call for reform comes as Governor Newsom is expected to continue his controversial mandates to control the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the CDC, California's COVID-19 numbers have been falling for the past 2 weeks, but experts fear another surge may be on the horizon as the winter months approach.
President Joe Biden outlined plans today to strengthen the middle-class economy. Biden spoke at the White House saying that Congress should act on raising taxes on the wealthiest Americans and corporations in order to fund his Build Back Better plan. The plan comes as the president compared the United States' quick economic recovery from the pandemic to other nations as the U.S. economy grows at the fastest rate in nearly 40 years. Now, the country has a record 10.9 million job openings. The sea ice extent in the Arctic Ocean reached its annual lowest this week, according to the Alfred Wegener Institute. While experts say the minimum is not as low as previous years, they warn that doesn't necessarily signal a good sign. Now, the Institute claims persistent low pressure over the central Arctic kept temperatures cooler than previous summers, where sea ice also reached record lows.
Welcome back to your Thursday evening weather report. Now, I've got good news for you if you have Friday night plans. Tomorrow is going to be 63 degrees and cloudy, so pretty all right weather. You only have a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 11 p.m. So as long as you got those plans in by 11, you should be fine. But if you're heading out after 11, you might want to bring a jacket, an umbrella. You don't have that big of a chance. It's only 30%, but there's still a chance there. Now, looking at the radar right now, though, you can see it's pretty clear. The only rain we have is down there a little bit in West Virginia, so that doesn't bother us at all up here in northern Ohio. So there's really nothing on the radar. Flipping ahead a few hours, you might think this is the same picture, but it's actually going to be for 10:15 p.m. That rain is still going to stay mostly south of us. That's in Maryland right now, so it's going to be pretty clear throughout the evening tonight, and going into your 7-day forecast, it's going to be pretty dry actually over these next couple of days, but those temperatures are still going to be pretty warm. Over the weekend, 20% chance of thunderstorms on Saturday in the morning hours. On Sunday, it's going to be really clear and sunny with temperatures up around 82. Monday, it's going to be 85, mostly sunny, but get a little bit more cloudy in the afternoon. Tuesday, you're going to see a higher chance of rain with 40% chance of rain in the afternoon. Then on Wednesday, that chance increases just a little bit to 50%, and those temperatures are going to start to drop off heading into Wednesday. And then Thursday, 72, cloudy and humid. And that's all I have for your weather report tonight. I've been Rachel Gross. Back to you at the desk.
I love some warm weather, but this is what I also love. Ice Age fans, we have a story that might make you get the chills. What animal will be making a comeback when TV2 returns in 2 minutes?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Busy week in the sports world. Kent State has announced the Hall of Fame class for 2021. Notable Hall of Famers include MLB players Andrew Chaffin and Travis Shaw, PGA Tour players Corey Connors and Mackenzie Hughes, and former NFL players Dree Archer and Roosevelt Nix. The new members will be inducted October 9th at the Kent State Hotel and Convention Center. And the Reds and Pirates faced off last night on Roberto Clemente Day, and we'll get started with Mike Moustakas hitting one into short left field for an RBI single to make the score 2-0 Reds. Then, Pittsburgh's Brian Reynolds answers back as he hits one along the first baseline into right field for a big triple, and a run is able to walk it in to tie the game at 2. Now, top of the 8th inning, Kyle Farmer hits one deep to left field for the solo home run and ties the game up at 4. And as we go on to the bottom of the 9th, with 2 runners on, Colin Moran of the Pittsburgh Pirates hits a grounder to first, but the Reds have trouble at first base, and Wilford Defoe is able to make it to home all the way from second base. An unbelievable play for a walk-off win for the Pirates on Clemente Day. Pittsburgh wins the game and celebrates with fireworks to end the night. And tonight is a divisional matchup between the Washington football team and the New York Giants. Taylor Heineke will get the start at quarterback due to Ryan Fitzpatrick's Week 1 hip injury. The Giants will try to get Saquon Barkley more involved against a tough Washington run defense. Both teams are looking to bounce back from Week 1 losses and regain momentum to try and win the wide-open NFC East. Let's take a look at my prediction for tonight's game. I expect the Giants to go into Washington and win tonight's game 23-17. Both teams have talented defenses, which will make life difficult for the young quarterbacks. The game will be low scoring and both teams will have to limit turnovers to win the game. Washington's defense will keep them in this game, but I think that Daniel Jones will use his experience to win the game in the second half and lead the Giants to a 1-1 record. Also, be on the lookout for lots of Kent State sports this weekend and high school football games tomorrow.
Thanks, Matt. Efforts to reintroduce extinct animals may happen sooner than you think. The company and its plan to bring back a famous Ice Age species when we return.
3 months ago, there weren't enough. We were desperately sourcing from all over the world. People were making face coverings from scarves, bandanas, and bits of fabric. Now there are plenty of masks, but some people don't want to wear them. Come on. Mask up, America.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So,
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Welcome back. The company Colossal announced plans today to de-extinct the woolly mammoth to the Arctic tundra. In a press release, the bioscience and genetics company said it will create an elephant-mammoth hybrid to help revitalize the Arctic grasslands. Colossal says the animal will include traits that could also combat climate change, such as methane suppression and light reflection. The company has current plans to help slow the extinction process of living animals as well.
And Democratic Colorado Governor Jared Polis has become the first sitting governor to marry a same-sex partner. Polis and his partner Marlon Race were married Wednesday after 18 years being engaged. Polis proposed to Race when Reese was sick with COVID-19 and preparing to go to the hospital. Now, the wedding was a traditional Jewish ceremony that took place outdoors, and in 2018, Polis became the first openly gay man elected governor in the U.S. Well, Portage County, that will do it all for you tonight for your Thursday edition of TV2 News. When TV2 is off air, you can find us online at KentWired.com or at KentWired on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
But don't turn the channel just yet, because at 9, get ready for an all-new episode of The Agenda. Once again, thank you for making us a part of your Thursday evening. I'm Elias Shingleton.
And I'm Shane Troyano. We'll see you right back here at the desk next week.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by any